Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite girl again, CYJ. Welcome back guys. If you're new here, my name is CY. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber based in Canada. We just relocated to Canada some months back, and with me is my husband. Woo! Anyways, as the title of this video says, we are here to tell you guys our PR story, how we're able to migrate to Canada as permanent residents. I've been getting lots of questions about these, and I promised to do a video. So to get started, I'd like to let you guys know that we came to Canada through the Express Entry program or pathway. But before we go further, before we tell you guys our story, I'd like my husband to give you guys like a brief overview of what Express Entry is about, because he was the primary applicant, or he was one who brought out this whole jackpot thing. So let me give him the honor. So babe, can you tell us like a brief overview of what Express Entry is about?
Express Entry is sometimes also referred to as the Federal Skilled Workers Program. That is one of the immigration pathways to Canada, wherein a person that qualifies can become a Canadian permanent resident from abroad, so far as the person provides the required documents and meets all other conditions. There are conditions to be met. Once the conditions are met, the person can apply to become a permanent resident in Canada
From their home country.
Yeah, from anywhere in the world, from their home country.
Yeah.
So it is actually a point-based system, and every person is rated based on their points, and those points relate to age, educational qualifications, years of experience in your home country, and it depends on your profession
Exactly.
in the home country. Good. So this program is made by the government to fill labor shortages. That is why it is tied to professions. That's why they have what they call NOC code. So your profession must be among those NOC code.
What about carpenters?
Yes. So yes. So
carpenters, they are professional.
Yes. So it depends on the professions
that
are required at the time. At this time now, there is need for people who do blue-collar jobs like carpenters, plumbers, even truck drivers. They now have an immigration pathway for them,
and they pay well.
Yes.
Honestly, they pay well.
So even for PR, there are different pathways in PR. There is the provincial nomination pathway, and then the Federal Skilled Workers Program. That one is done by the federal government, and once a person comes in through that program, the person can live anywhere in Canada.
Yeah, you can live in any province.
Any of the provinces.
Unlike the provincial nomination, whereby if you were nominated in Winnipeg or in Manitoba, you must stay there for a period of time. Yeah. If it's Calgary or Alberta, you must stay there. If it's Ontario, Toronto, you must stay there. But through this Federal Skilled Workers Program we can decide to stay anywhere in Canada.
Yeah.
Hope that is clear. I know you guys will have questions, right? So if you have any question, just leave your question in the comment section down below. I'll be here to be of service to you. So moving forward, I would like to give you guys our story. Yeah, I just wanted my husband to give you guys like an overview, so that when you hear Express Entry, you know what it's about a bit. Before I go further, I just want to let you guys know that our Canada PR took us 3 years and March, April, May, 3 years and 2 months. It's that long. Some persons' own can be as short as 3 months, some 4 months, some 6 months. But because of COVID, we were badly affected.
It's not just COVID now.
They will say it's COVID now. Let's put it on that COVID.
It's not just COVID. We had changes in the application.
Even before the changes, did they do anything?
When I applied, I was single. I wasn't married yet. I added my wife to my application. I added my first child, my daughter, and added my son to the application.
As they used to give us pay, I would say let's just be giving birth to children.
And someone told me that once you keep making those additions, they'll be throwing your file to the back.
That's not true.
Yes, now they'll be throwing your files to the back. Yes, and you know that all those changes also affect things, because people that you're adding, they will need to
do some background check on
do
them.
background checks on them. So it's like 4 applications in one.
Okay. Anyways, back to our story. Sorry for digressing. I want to ask my husband, why did you decide to leave Nigeria in the first place?
So I think sometime in 2016 or 17, I have a cousin in Canada, and he just texted me out of the blues. He told me that he's in Canada now, and he just asked me whether I've never thought about traveling abroad. At the time, I hadn't given it serious thought, but what he told me was really the beginning of thinking about the possibility of moving abroad. And then sometime in 2019 or 2019, yeah, my friend also told me, oh, that it's
early 2019.
Yeah, early 2019. My friend also told one of my friends in Lagos that it's actually a very good pathway. That is when this Jagba thing was starting to come up.
Yeah.
That is a very good pathway. He laid it out to me, told me how possible it is to even get good jobs here, and he told me that it's actually possible and easy for people like us. So and I thought about it, and I thought, why not? And again, that was the time when the Nigerian economic and political landscape was becoming unreasonable to me. I just felt like I cannot imagine living the entirety of my life in this country. I'm going to be very, very frustrated and unhappy.
Okay.
And I felt that the best place to go to, where, considering all the other variables, I can succeed, was here.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Personally, I have never thought of relocating to Canada. I've always wanted to be successful in Nigeria, and maybe sometimes during summer I come to the abroad with my family to have fun for vacation, because I don't want to stay away from my mom. I don't want to stay away from my parents, my siblings. Like, I love the fact that I can always go to my parents' place anytime I want. So the thought of relocating has never come to my mind. It has never crossed my mind until my husband told me about it. But then we were in a relationship. We just started dating. Our relationship was barely 5 months when you told me about it. Right? But before you told me, it's as if you've already started the process in a way.
Yeah. So before I told my wife, my girlfriend then, about it, that I was planning to travel, I had already started the process. So at the time, you need to send your transcript to an organization in Canada. So, like I said before, it's a points-based system, and your points is based on your level of education overseas or in your home country or wherever you schooled. And for them to understand what that level of education is, you have to send your transcripts to about 2 or 3 bodies in Canada that will assess your education. That is done based on your transcripts. So there are 2 at the time, WES and ICAS, IQAS.
Is it just your transcripts or your results, your certificate?
It's a transcript.
Only transcript that you send?
Yeah, it's transcript you send to them.
Even when you are sending your transcript for evaluation, you have to let them know the reason for the evaluation. That is for immigration purpose.
Yeah.
It's not for study. You're not going to school, you are going for immigration, so they should evaluate it based on their immigration, whatever.
Yeah, that's my recollection. You just send them the transcript. So they use the transcripts to determine your level of education and its equivalency to Canadian education.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So at the time, I had sent my transcripts to ICAS, and then I started preparing for Ielts.
Like you paid for IELTS?
Yes. So at the time, I had paid for IELTS. Like I said, the points are based on your level of education, your language skills. Yeah, because they want you to come in and fit into the working environment. So you should be able to read, write, speak, and understand English when you hear it.
Not just English.
Yeah.
I think English or French, because that's the official language in
Yes,
Canada.
so-
English and French.
So there are different pathways, or there are different ways. If you want to go through French,
Yeah.
you have to take the French exam. But if English is your second language,
Take
you have
IELTS.
to take IELTS exam. So while I was preparing for IELTS and I was beginning to see, I think I've written the first exam now.
No, you haven't.
Okay, I hadn't. So it was at this period that I informed my wife, my baby.
Almost. This guy told me that he wants to. That was when he told me that he has sent his documents to ICAS for evaluation. That once his score comes back, he will write his IELTS. That he wants to go to Canada. That what will happen is that I will just stay behind. When he has gone to Canada, after like a year or two, he will come back and marry me. I say, oh, Benny, you are who? You are who? See, me, I'm not gonna wait for you, okay? Because I know how these things works, right? I don't want to ever be in that situation whereby I will tell anybody that my boyfriend is outside the country. I want to free him. Do you get? I want you to be able to find somebody, because you might, who knows? It's not as if our relationship was that deep yet. Our relationship was not deep yet for you to be making such promises. So I was like, no, me, I'm not interested in this your thing. What will happen is you should just break up now. Let everybody rest. Do you get? When you go to your Canada, you see somebody, you marry person. Me, I will stay in my Nigeria and I will marry anybody that I see. He now told me that, okay, what should we do? So he suggested that he pay for IELTS for me. He wanted us to run a separate application. Since we're not married yet, we should run a separate application. Then I will apply for my PR. He will apply for his. But I still said no. I said I don't want to waste your money. IELTS was about 75k then. That was in 2019. IELTS was about 75k then. I said I beg. I'm not interested, because I was not good in English. See, I didn't trust myself.
You just felt that you won't pass.
That's it. I say, everybody, you know your ability. Apart from this thing that we are speaking, IELTS is not like this. So IELTS is more difficult based on what I've heard from other persons that have written, because I never wrote IELTS. That's the crazy thing. I didn't write IELTS at the end of the day. But we'll tell you how and why. So then I was like, me, I'm not interested. You see this IELTS? I can't write it. I don't want to waste your money. Ogbeni, let us break up now. So that day we had an intense conversation. We were going back and forth, looking for a way out. But me, at that point, my mind was made up. I was like, it's going to pay me. The breakup will pay me now. But after some time, I will get over it. Then...
It was about breaking up. But it was just
then I was like, let's just break up.
But Jabu hadn't split.
Exactly, but I said I didn't want. Now, the reason why I said let's break up was because you said you will go and come back and marry me after 2 years. I said, me, I don't want that type. So after that whole conversation that day, the next day you now sent me something.
Yeah, so how did you resolve this situation? So of course now you do your research. So I was doing my research, and then I found something on Ireland.
Yeah.
And someone said that you could add your spouse to your application if you guys married after you applied. When I saw that, I continued to do more research, and then my wife then met someone.
No, that's not the gist. You now forwarded the article to me via my email, because I was at work that day.
Yeah, you were at work.
I read through. I was like, really? The person even added the wife after he had gotten his passport request. Like, he was dating her before he applied. He has done his biometrics and they've given him they've asked for his passport. He got married and added his wife. So when he sent the article to me, after reading, I started making research. Then I bumped into this lady on YouTube. I think somebody even told me about Niela, one of my colleagues. She's a friend to this lady's husband. So she gave me the gist, and I looked for her on YouTube. And her story was just like ours, because the husband added her after he has gotten his passport request. So then I was like, okay, so this is a done deal. Then there's a way out. So I don't need to write IELTS. I have to escape this. So I was so happy about the the findings. I was so happy about it. Then my husband and I, my then boyfriend, we said, okay, fine, now we know the way forward. I'm not writing IELTS. We are going to get married after you have applied as a single man. Then you will add me to your application. So at this point, my husband decided to focus on his IELTS. So now it's time for the English proficiency, the almighty English proficiency.
So there are two types of IELTS. There is the academic test and then the general test. General test is for those who want to immigrate. Academic is for those who are writing IELTS to qualify for admission to school abroad. So I did the general test.
How was it like? How was it like? Was it?
Well, first of all, you have to prepare very well for the exam. You have to read. There are textbooks to read. I think there's one that they call Baron. Yes. So
you have one now that has CDs.
Yes, yes. It even has 2 CDs, so you can. So the exams are in different types. There's a speaking test wherein they analyze or test your ability to produce language. So you would speak, they will tell you what to talk about, you will just, and then based on your vocabulary and everything, they will assess your level of English, your spoken English. And then there's a writing test wherein, yes, you'll be given essays to write, letters to write.
It's not you're going to be writing Anna, or you'll be speaking Anna. It's not Anna now. Your vocabulary has to be on point.
Yeah, there are different tests. I think we would do a deep dive on each of them in a different video.
Yeah.
And then there is the listening part wherein they will give you a headphone and people will having conversations, and then they'll ask you questions to know whether you can identify the different accents in English. There is the English accent, there is the Australian accent, and all those things.
Babe, sorry to cut you. I just remembered something. So during this process, one day I carried that IELTS CD. I played it on the I played the CD on the laptop. So 2 persons were having a conversation and they were talking. When they are done, they asked me, what did they talk about? I said, is it this one I will go and wait somebody's money? 2 persons will have conversations. Sometimes they will ask you, what did this person mean by this? What person? So IELTS can be very tricky. For what I know, IELTS can be very tricky. You don't go into the exam hall thinking it's just English. It's just my regular, especially for people in Nigeria, whereby English is like our normal language. Apart from our personal dialect, English is like the general language. IELTS English is not like that.
Yeah,
it's deeper.
It is more of a skills test than a knowledge test.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they are testing your language skills, not just your knowledge of English words. So your ability to string words together, your ability to make a sentence without having to pause your
I'm not like
and then your accents too. So that's what I'm trying to test. Yeah. So I think on that day at the exam, they will give you writing materials. You won't go with anything but
apart from your international passport,
and you can take a bottle of water in.
Okay.
But you have to take out the label of the bottle of water.
Yeah, you told me.
So it will be.
Were they thinking you will write expo in the? I don't know
what they are thinking. Yeah, so you have to take out the label, and people write their exam so many times. So some people
yes. One of my friends, her husband wrote it 5 times. At the end of the day, they use the font more because the more they write, see, we don't want to discourage you guys here, but the truth is so many persons write this exam 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. He didn't write once, so that you guys will know that we are not just capping. He didn't write once.
Yeah, so I wrote the exam twice.
But the first one, what was your score? What was the required score in the first place?
So now, some people, I need to explain this. People make some kind of mistakes when it comes to assessing their IELTS.
Sorry.
Like I said, there are 2 types of IELTS. There is the academic test and the general test. For academic tests, most times they are looking at your overall band score. So for writing, speaking, listening, and reading, you have a score, and then there is the overall score, like let's say an average of all. And most times, if you get an 8 points for
8 band.
yeah,
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, eight band for academic. It's
You are
good.
good.
You are good to go. 7.5 is good, and then it's very
It's
good.
very good.
But when it comes to general tests for
Immigration,
it is more specific to each of those skills.
if you fail one, you can't go forward.
There are bands for each of the skills for you to max out on your Ielts. So if you, for instance, have a 9.0 in writing, but in your speaking you have a 7, your overall band might still be 8.
But you might not go forward.
But that 7 you have in speaking will make your CRS score lower. You understand? So when I did my
Your
first
first
IELTS,
one?
yeah, I think I had 8 points in writing.
Writing, you had 6.5.
No, wait, yeah.
I will not forget what writing did to also.
8 points in reading.
Reading.
I think reading and
Speaking.
No, reading and listening. I got 8.5. Listening I got 8.0. Speaking I got 7.5.
Writing.
And writing I got 6.5.
Bam, problem.
And I was like, what?
Writing just wasted 75,000. Just like that.
And I thought I wrote well. And I mean, I prepared well, I wrote well, and
you really prepared though. In fact, you prepared for your first one more than the second. The
yes.
second one you were even angry.
I was so mad. And
when you saw that score, you had the thought to apply for remarking.
Yeah, so I decided to apply for remarking. So if you're not happy with your score, you can ask for a remark, and you pay 15K for that.
Yeah, then we don't know how much it is now.
At the time, the good thing is that if they review your score and they decide that,
or they realize that there was a mistake,
and they increase your band score, you get a refund.
Wait, I want to ask you a question. What if you have 8.5 in speaking? Like the only thing that spots you was writing, and you apply for remarking, that speaking that you had 8.5 now came down to 6.5. What will you do?
No.
Are they not going to evaluate everything, or just the one that you apply for?
I think they will evaluate the one that you ask for remarking.
Okay, you have to ask for a particular one.
Yeah,
okay.
but there is something important that most people don't know. Is that if you are applying for remarking, for writing, for reading and listening, you will hardly get a review.
Okay, yeah, now
because both those ones are objective. If the answer is B, is B. So if you get a low score in reading and listening, don't apply for a remarking.
That score is real.
But when it comes to writing, which is you writing an essay or a letter, and speaking, you might get a review. Because
but that speaking, can they ask you to read? Because they don't record you while you speak.
They
record you while you speak.
Yeah,
okay.
They record your speaking. So you can ask for a review, because the marks in those bands are a little bit subjective, because how they are scored is the examiner will use what you write or what you speak or what you say to assess your level of English based on his or her own opinion.
So his opinion could be wrong.
Yeah. There are marking schemes. There are things to look out for, but their own assessment might be different from another person's assessment. So for writing, I got 6.5, and I really felt that was low. I should get more higher than that. And then I sampled opinion. Someone told me that I shouldn't bother about asking for a remark, that I should just write it. And I was like, that's 75K.
But even
15K.
Within this, my husband is not somebody that likes to waste time on things, right? So within this period of contemplating whether to apply for remarking or not, he has already paid for another exam. And I was at work one day, and he called me. He was like, Why did I even listen to that girl? I should have just applied for this remarking. I was not
Do you know
like,
why? Because when I was preparing for my IS, I was listening to a podcast.
Okay, that's true.
And the lady said that when you apply for a remark, mostly when it's for speaking and writing, that they almost always
give you a higher score.
You at least a half band. So half band is 6.5 to 7. Or a full band like 6.5 7.5. And she said they almost always
do it.
Increase your score. And I was just so angry. And I just needed, I needed 7.5.
One band.
So.
You needed one band to clear. So that was when you now called me. So what I told him was that we don't need to dwell on the past, right? You've paid this money and you've paid this money. If some 5k, 15k, some 5k is like a lot. So why don't you just focus on this your new exam and just let that one go? So what will happen is, if something like that should happen the second time, then you don't need to ask anybody. Just apply for remarking.
That was in December 2018.
That was in December, and he wrote the exam the second time. The same thing, guys, happened.
So when I wrote the exam in December 2018.
No, December 2019.
2019, I wrote the exam.
The second exam.
The second exam. And when the result came out?
The result came out in January. In January 2020.
No. I wrote in November.
The first one or second one?
Second one. The result came out in December.
Okay.
I remember. And the thing was still the same, writing 6.5.
No, you said no. If it's village people, we gonna share you guys.
And I was like,
at this point, you went to pay that money.
So, I mean, because the thing is that, like she said, I prepared more for the first and the second.
The second one, you didn't prepare.
But for the second one, I knew my problem was the writing.
You have experience.
So I focused more on the writing and less on the other ones. And then I read about, what they are looking for, the different band descriptors, how to max out, how to write well. And
even at that, I still
got a 6.5. I said no.
No, we're gonna apply for remarking.
I applied for remarking.
You paid 15k.
Paid the 15k.
To which body? British whatever.
It is the British Council.
British Council, yeah. The same people, Abby. Me, I don't know anything there. Me, I don't know anything. I was just following up with how was the exam. And when they asked me, I took.
Do you know what happened? I wasn't looking at my emails, but one day I just checked my email. These guys have responded to me in like some weeks back.
You're not checking your email because IRCC they never enter your life. IRCC they enter your life because they check your email.
And the thing that they sent me the email was that I should come and collect my check for a refund. So that they didn't tell me that my score has changed or they've improved my score or anything.
But for them to tell you to come
for a refund. And
for them to tell you to come and collect refund, that means your score
increased. That means they increased my score. And then I was supposed to go because I didn't see the email early.
Yeah.
When I saw it was really late in December. That's December-January period when companies close late
for Christmas, end of the year holiday.
Yeah, when things are very, very uncertain. So I went to their office the following day. I didn't know that on that day they closed by 1.
Okay, so you went there late.
So when I got there, they've already closed. And going back, it will be the next year.
In January.
So they told me to come back in January when they opened. When I went there, they opened, and I checked my results. Guess what?
That writing that he got 6.5. Guys, just guess how many bands we added.
They added 1.5.
1.5 band. That is, he got 8.0. as against 6.5.
And
they returned his money. At that point, we were not like, you should have just applied for Remarking the first time. But God knows what he's doing, right?
yeah, it was really unprecedented, because I always know that they can add half band or 1 band, but 1.5 band.
That was a lot. And that day he called me. I don't know. I'm always at work when he's giving me this. He called me. Now, babe, see. I was so excited because, for one thing, you have spent money on this thing. You need to get value for your money. You've put in the work. You spent time. When he told me, I was so excited. But this guy said, I must create my profile today. Then I didn't even know what is all this create profile, no create profile. He said I must create profile today. I said, can't you wait?
No. So there is something in this express entry called tiebreaker. The time you create your profile determines whether you get ITA on the next draw. You understand? So, and at the time, the draws were 2 weeks back to back. Every 2 weeks,
they do a new draw.
Said that it's a draw. And I knew when the last draw was and when the next draw was coming. I think the next draw was supposed to be on the 7th of January or so. So I wanted to get in.
You wanted to get IT on that January 7th.
When I went home, I used the new Ielts scores to recalculate my CRS score, and then it was up there.
And then your score was like 470.
Yeah, it was 473.
473.
And my friend got ITA with 478. So then the scores were hovering around 468, 469, 470. That was the range. Yeah, so anybody that gets above that score gets, below this score will not get. That is the way it is. Based on the previous draw, I knew that if I create my profile today, if they do draw tomorrow, I'm going to get ITA. So that night, I didn't sleep.
He called me, this was disturbing me. I said, can't you sleep? Allow me. I didn't know how urgent this was. Yeah. I was like, babe, sleep now. Tomorrow you do it. He was like, I want to do it. In fact, good night. That was how we ended our conversation that night. I was like, okay, fine. So he created his profile and he was expecting to get ITA the next draw, but he didn't get, not because his score was not up to the number, but according to what he said, there's something called tiebreaker.
Yeah.
The time at which he created his profile, I think they've already, the people on the pool, they've already picked people.
So they've already picked people who got. So I think they did a draw the day after. Like I created my profile this early morning. In the morning,
past 12 midnight.
Yes, in the morning there was a draw, and in that draw the score was 472.
So
I was waiting for the ITA in my email. Now, where's my own? Where's my pally? You've shared. Let me see my own. So I didn't see ITA then.
You didn't get the ITA then.
So I then checked back, and then they then stated the tiebreaker rule is any person who had 472 and whose profile was created at so and so date. That is when they will cut it off.
So those the main people, you have to wait for the next.
So if you get your profile after that cutoff time, even if your score is higher, you won't get the ITA.
You have to wait.
So I then relaxed because I was doing my research, checking is it possible that you will get a higher score than the cutoff mark and then not get the ITA? What's happening?
This will make you do research and you're tired for life.
So I waited for the next draw.
That was about 2 weeks.
Like
2 weeks after. By this time, we were in January 2020.
That was in January 2020.
He now created. He now waited 2 weeks after that draw.
2 weeks, a draw came. The CRS score for that draw was 471. I was in 470. When
he knew that he's gonna get it.
I know his ITA in the mail.
So the moment he got his ITA, he was so excited. See, I was excited, guys, but I think I don't know the value of these things then. I have to be honest with you guys. Then I didn't really know the value. See, I didn't know what these things really mean. It's not like I don't know that they're important, But as time goes on, the importance I placed on them started to increase because now I know more about them. But then I was excited. I was like, oh, but his excitement and the way he was being excited, it was not just matching in my brain. Why you this happen? Did they give you pay a visa? But this was like a step, right? So he got his ITA. So ITA means invitation to apply. Now you know that I want to start this journey with IRCC. IRCC, they are the body that are in charge of this immigration.